Good morning, I'm Joanna, and welcome to my channel in All Seasons Homestead. I have a lot going on this morning. Follow me as I clean, prep, can, cook, and chat. It's one of those days where there's a lot to do and a lot has already happened. We've already taken care of the animals and did some outside chores, and I started the laundry, and prepping in the kitchen has put me a little behind schedule in the kitchen. Right here, I'm going to start some homemade yogurt. I'm just going to pour my milk into a pot, and I'm just going to let that sit at room temperature, so later as I heat it up, it won't take as long to get to the temperature that I need. Usually by this time in the morning, I have everything tidy, clean, and just ready to focus on another area or start school or start cooking something. But today was a little chaotic in the morning. I started to feel a little overwhelmed with mainly the time. The time was just going way too quickly. I got behind in my kitchen chores due to taking extra time to take care of the animals. So here I am preparing a skillet just to have a quick, simple breakfast of eggs, ham, on some rolls with some warm cheese. And as I'm letting everything heat up, I continue to tidy up the kitchen and check my chicken stock. That pot next to me to the right, I started 2 chicken carcasses early in the morning, and I'm going to can some chicken broth later in the day. Our chickens are laying a lot of eggs now that it's spring, and look at the color of those yolks. I just think they're gorgeous, nice and orange. So here is my chicken stock. The lid is very foamy, and here is the reality of my morning. Nothing too bad. It just started to accumulate and build up, and there's Asian beetles that I've been dealing with. Quite the morning. Since we were outside longer than usual, that put me behind in the kitchen a little bit since I had some yogurt and chicken broth and extra things to start. So that put us behind on starting our homeschool lessons for the morning. I don't know about you, but I like to have one thing tidied up or accomplished before I start the next thing. Not perfect, just done. I decided to switch my mind and my perspective and calm down and just do my best. It was all about my attitude. If I were to get stressed, then my kids would get stressed, and the day would have probably been a lot worse. It was nothing bad going on in the day, just a lot of little things piling up. So I'm glad that I caught myself. The older ones at this point had already started their lessons for the morning, and the youngest one is always at my side. Even though I'm doing several things at once, it's just like letting the chicken broth warm up and come to a simmer, or letting my skillet for breakfast warm up. Just even though it's a lot of things at the same time, I have minutes here and there to focus on one thing at a time, and I started to feel better as I got the dishes done or a counter cleaned off. I started to calm down, change my mind, and almost just laugh at myself. How silly was it just to get overwhelmed by these tiny little things? This is definitely a realistic day. Sweatpants, no makeup. Everywhere I look, there's objects that someone had dropped in the kitchen and left. But you know what? That's okay. It's just part of life. You just have to do your best, keep on going. We'll eventually get there. Here are my rolls that I made the night before. So I decided for a quicker, easier breakfast to warm up the rolls with some butter. Just cut them in half and put the fried egg and the ham and the cheese in the middle. And they were quite tasty. Very simple, quick, but really good. Breakfast has been a bit of a challenge lately. Everyone likes something else. One person likes sweets, like, I don't know, donuts, things like that. The other one likes yogurt or toast, and the other one wants a high-protein breakfast. So today has been kind of tricky. Some days it's just you get what you get, and other days I have more time, so I'll make extra of one thing so that kid can have what they like for a couple of days, or one kid will have pancakes and the other kid will have scrambled eggs. But breakfast has been challenging because everyone is on a different page. And here my eggs are sticking to my skillet. I forgot to season my pan. I didn't even think about it before I put the eggs on there. And again, at this point, I just had to laugh at myself because what else am I going to forget? Why get mad at a skillet? I'm just going to have to wash it and go from there. And those two little objects that I just pointed at the camera, those were some random farm objects that we just have laying around the kitchen that morning. Does anyone else deal with those silly little days where you just get upset about minor issues or just a bunch of little things that accumulate and then you start getting frustrated? It's nothing hard or bad. There are some issues in the back of my mind also that I'm dealing with, but does anyone else just have those days where you're just very forgetful or very frustrated? Right here, I'm going to chop up some celery, carrots, some onions and garlic, and these are going to go in with my chicken carcasses to give the stock some more flavor. And I also use that base of the celery. I do this all the time. I stick it in a pan of water, and within days the tops start growing up and eventually it roots out, and I have successfully transplanted them to the garden year after year and have had beautiful celery stalks. You probably see a green bottle with a red nipple there in the back. That belongs to our bottle baby goat. That was her morning bottle, and it's still sitting there. And next to that is a half carton that holds my youngest son's chicken's eggs. One of the hens started laying, and it's the teeniest tiny little egg. It's like the size of 2 quarters, and so he's excited about that, and he wants to save it for a special breakfast. Have you guys ever seen those aesthetic videos, cottage videos, girls dressed up in flowery dresses or flowy dresses, and they're gathering flowers and running in the fields and sipping tea? It's been a while since I've seen one, but I remember some of the comments. Some love those videos and others think that they were fake. I'm wondering what you guys think about those. Do you like the made up pretty stuff, or do you like realistic videos? I can see that people would get annoyed with the fake stuff, the unrealistic videos, but I think it depends on what you like and your perspective. You may be the person who thinks it's an artistic, dramatic entertainment, and you know it's not real, but it's pretty. It might be some kind of escape from reality. I don't think it's wrong at all to want to dress pretty and take the time to smell flowers, but the danger I see is to always expect or believe that kind of life and then not be prepared for reality. Real life can be ugly at times and serious, but I believe that we can always find something beautiful in each day. We don't have to have cottage dresses or a perfect house. Just learn to laugh at the mistakes, calm down, and listen to what's around you. So here you can see what I was talking about, how I burnt the eggs to the skillet and they got stuck, but it turned out okay. It wasn't too bad. I survived. This video will definitely just be a lot of realistic scenes and just chatting and a lot of random things. Another thing that I've also thought about before is, why do women watch other women cook, clean, organize, talk about their hardships? Why do we do that? Some of us, I think, want to escape that reality and you go a different direction in life because you want a break. And others, I think the reason why you watch other women do something is to find encouragement or tips on how to do something, or just a different perspective, something that you haven't thought about before, and you can use it as an encouragement or apply it to your life, your homeschool, your cooking, whatever it is. That it is a beautiful thing to inspire others, to be inspired, to encourage others, for others to encourage you. It's a beautiful circle of life. But just don't worry about the people who want to attack or judge or bring you down. Be proud of yourself and just do the best that you can each day. Try to add something new when you can. to keep loving life and to try new things, but do it at your own pace. Don't do things just because it's a trend or somebody else is doing it. If you want to wear that beautiful cottage dress and it's practical for your day, then you do it. If you want to be in sweatpants like me because you want to be simple and get your jobs done for the day, just do that also. So while I was rambling on, you may have seen me making butter also. I made a couple of quarts of butter because, hey, why not? Just add another thing to your day. I needed to get it done. And there's my beautiful breakfast that was quite tasty. And I actually felt recharged. This pot right here is my milk that I was letting just come to room temperature. And I don't think I even started making that until later. I focused on my chicken broth and the butter and things like that, washed up the dishes, and then I ended up having to run to town too. I forgot something for dinner that night, and I really wanted to make it. It seems like I was missing one ingredient for each meal of the week, so I couldn't switch meals around. I had to go get that one thing. So that also added to my morning with the time. But here I am giving my youngest some more yogurt. That was his second bowl of the day, and he likes chocolate chips in his yogurt. I cannot get him to eat bananas, fruit, or granola, but it is what it is. Most mornings he wants pancakes, yogurt, or toast. That's his 3 go-to breakfasts all the time. But like I said, it's a lot going on at the same time, but I'm just doing one thing at a time as something else is warming up or simmering. Here I am getting the second bottle baby's bottle ready for the day. At this time she was eating 4 bottles a day. She is now down to 2 bottles a day, so because this was quite a while ago. After getting the bottle ready and doing a quick wipe down of the counter, I switched the laundry. And here comes my youngest with his favorite poultry magazine. He's always wanting to learn about breeds of chickens or what color of eggs they have. We are not going to order any chickens this year. He's incubating his own barnyard mix, and we've only ordered Cornish cross chickens. And he may get a couple here and there from the farm store if there's a certain breed he wants, but I think we have plenty. And talk about an unaesthetic day. If you notice, I turned my laundry pink. I have not done this for about 20 years, but that red Christmas blanket turned all of my mats and towels a pink. And it did come out. I used something called Mrs. Stewart's liquid bluing, and I had to wash everything twice with that, but it did turn it white again. And then here I'm just going to do, I think I folded 1 or 2 loads of laundry really quick before I headed to town. Hopefully I'm not making any of you dizzy by going from the kitchen to the laundry. Now I'm back from the store. There was a lot going on in that morning, as I've already said. I think most of you can identify with the busyness of your days, or maybe some of you have already been past that point of your life and you're a little bit more relaxed. And here is my afternoon coffee because I just got back from the store, and now I'm going to prepare my chicken broth for canning, as well as clean up my teenagers' lunch mess that they left. Usually they take good care of themselves when they cook something extra or they see me canning for the day. They will try to make themselves a little breakfast or lunch. They try to be a help and they try to clean up their mess, but usually there's a few things that they forget and they leave in my way. But again, no big deal. Just wash it up, get it out of the way. They went back to their lessons, so I am going to get my chicken broth ready. So another thing that happened this morning and early afternoon, besides not seasoning my skillet and burning my eggs and also turning my towels pink, I also had a jar break during the canning process. I haven't had this happen for a long time. I'm not really sure what happened, what was going on, but the whole jar busted and it smelled like chicken broth pretty strong during the processing. Instead of focusing on the one jar that cracked and burst open, I was just pleased with the rest of the jars that turned out just fine. As you watch me mess up my day and fumble around, I hope that it is still an encouragement to you that when we mess up or mistakes happen, or even if something really bad happens, just be encouraged, slow down, take a deep breath, and just try to remember to see the beauty in each day and the blessings. And remember, you're not alone. Even though some people may seem like they have it all together, trust me, they have their days where big things or small things happen. You are not alone. Just keep going. And as my video comes to a closing, I just want to say a thank you again for watching, for taking your time. Please like and subscribe and comment below. I really appreciate it. And we did finally make it outside to do school. And he had a great attitude. He was having a wonderful time learning with his little chick. She's always by our side as he does school on every nice day that we have. Thank you all again, and hope to see you soon.